Hello, good to have you on my channel. My name is Esther. Today we are going to be learning how to make a beautiful kimono top. If this sounds like what you would love to learn, then let's jump right in. So the first thing I'm going to do, I folded my fabric into 4. You see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see I folded it into 4. You should know how to fold into 4 because I want to cut both back and front together. So the first thing I'm going to do is to mark a starting point line. So I've marked 1 inch. You see, this is my starting point because we need this 1 inch as allowance. So I've marked it. So the next thing we'll do is to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So the shoulder measurement I'll be using for this tutorial is 16 inches. So 16 divided by 2 will give me 8 inches. So I'm going to mark 8 inches. So this is the 8 inch. From there, I'm going to mark my sleeve length. What I want to use, you know, this is a kimono. The bodice and the sleeve is together. So my sleeve length is going to be 15 inches. So I'm going to use 15 inches as my sleeve length. So this is 15 inches. Then I'm going to add 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch as sewing allowance. So I've done that. 1.5 inch for turning, for putting in our elastic. Is going to have this tiny elastic at the hand, so I added 1.5 inch to do a casing for the elastic. So after that, the next thing I will do is to mark my sleeve, my round sleeve. So because it's going to reach my elbow length, so I'm going to times, because I want to put elastic, I need more room so that it can gather it. So I'm going to times my elbow measurement by 2. So my elbow measurement is 12 inches. So I'm going to times 12 inches into 2. That will give me 24 inches. So I'm going to use 12 inches here. You know, by the time we open it, it's going to give us 24. So I'm going to mark it here. I'm going to use elastic to gather it back to my round sleeve. So the next thing I want to do is to go in by 3 inches. So I'm going to go in by 3 inches. I'm going by 3 inches. Then these 3 inches, I'll take it down. I'll also go in by 3 inches at the lower part. Don't forget your blouse length. So my blouse length is 23 inches. I added 3 inches allowance to it, which will make it 23 for the balloon effect. Then I also added 2 inches for the casing. This time around, we are going to be using 1 inch casing, 1 inch elastic. 3 inches. So these 3 inches, I'll also bring it down here. And I'll mark 3 inches here too. So I'm going to connect these lines. Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to give it a nice curve here. You see it? Just give it a nice curve. And we are done. So we are not going to mark any neckline. This, what I used here, 8 inches, that's what I'm going to use as my neckline. So I'm just going to notch it. Then I'm going to use this 1 inch as the sewing allowance. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now I'm going to cut out. If you have enjoyed this tutorial so far, please subscribe to my channel. So this part, I'm just trying to open the top. You know, it's on fold at the top. So I'm just trying to open it so that they can become 2 single pieces. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to notch this part because we're not going to cut any neckline. I'm just going to notch it. Okay, so we are done with our... We're not going to cut any neckline. Don't cut any neckline. No need for any neckline. So by the time we open it up, this is what we'll have. So now I'll go to my sewing machine and I will sew from this notch. From the notch, I'm going to sew from this notch down with the 1 inch that we left. I'm going to sew from this notch down here, then from this notch down here with the 1 inch. So let me sew it and I'll show you what it looks like. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew it. So you see, from the notched mark from here to here, that 8 inches, when you open it, is now 16. You see it? So I sew from the notch mark down here then I sew from the notch mark down here. So this part is open. This is going to be the neckline. Don't worry, we'll fix it. What we need to do now is to go to my pressing table and press this open. So I'm going to press this open. Then there are two things I can do here. I can either fold the neckline like this and top stitch, and there'll be a thread showing, or I'll just, after ironing it, I'll put hemming gum. I'll just weave the tip here, put hemming gum, then press it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put hemming gum, then I'll press it. After weaving the edge, I'll press it down. You see, that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to press it down, weave it. I'll weave the edges, then I'll use hemming gum to hold it. You see it? You know, we left 1 inch at the top here, and that's what we sew. So after I finish pressing it, it's going to be like this. So this straight part is going to be the neckline. Don't worry, you see it. Let me quickly do that. So guys, I've pressed it. You see it? See how neat it is? This is the front. Let me show you the back. So this is how the back looks like. Can you see it? I use my hemming gum. I weaved it, and I use my hemming gum to press it. You can see the neck is straight and it's very beautiful. So what I'll do next now, I will go ahead. This is the side. This is the sleeve. So I'm going to fold it to create the casing for our elastic. So I'm going to fold it like this to create the casing, and we'll pass our elastic. Here too, I'm going to create a casing. This is the second sleeve. I'm going to create a casing. I'll sew it like this, then passing our elastic. So let me do that. So guys, I've created the casing to pass our elastic. So you're going to measure your round elbow, and you're going to -1 from it. So that's what you're going to use. So I'm going to pass the elastic into it now. We're going to pass the elastic into the casing of the sleeve. So I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch it. So I'll stitch this part down. I'll stitch this part down. I'll do the same thing. I've done this one. See it? It will look like this when you are done. You see it? I've passed this one. So I'll do it here. So let me pass this one. Then we'll join the two sides. So guys, this is what we have for both sides. You see it? I've put the elastic for this sleeve, and I've also put for this sleeve. You see it? So now I'll go ahead and shape the sides. So I'm just going to sew it. I'm just going to sew 1/2 inch like this. Then I'll also sew 1/2 inch like this. For this part, I'll sew 1/2 inch. So after sewing it, I'll create a casing. You know, we are still going to put elastic at the bottom part. So I'm going to weave the lower part. Then I'll create a casing. Well, this time around, we are going to be putting 1 inch elastic at this lower part. So after sewing both sides, after shaping both sides, I'll weave it. Then I'll weave this lower part too. Then I'll create a casing that will accommodate our 1 inch elastic. So I'll create that casing, then I'll show you. We're almost done with this tutorial. So guys, I've created the casing on the hem. You see it is a 1 inch, so that we can put this 1 inch elastic. So now I'm going to pass. I left a space. I didn't finish sewing it. I left a space so that the elastic can pass through. You see it? This is the space. So I'm going to pass my elastic through it now.
If this video has been helpful so far, kindly click on the like button and drop a comment, please. Thank you so much.
So I'll go ahead and stitch the elastic. Then I'll spread the gathers evenly. So let me do that. So guys, after fixing the elastic at the bottom, this is it. This is what it should look like. You can see everything is looking beautiful. This is the hand. This is the neckline. So we are practically done, but I just want to put a little design at the hem here. So I will get a strip. This is a strip. This strip, the length is 30 inches. The length is 30 inches while the width is 4 inches. So I'm just going to fold it like this. And I just made a slant at the end of both sides. So I'm going to sew it like this. I'll sew from here. So I'll leave a space to turn it. I'll sew everywhere. I'll turn it. After turning it, I'll press it. I made 2 of it. This is 2. I'll go and sew it now. Then we'll stitch it. We'll stitch it by the side seam here. We'll stitch 1 here. You just open it up like this and stitch 1 here and stitch the other one here. That's just for design purposes. Optional, you can leave this out, but it will make it will just add to the beauty of it. So let's do that. So I'm just going to attach it at the two sides, and that's all for this tutorial. So I'll show you the end product of this beautiful top. So guys, this is the final outcome of our top. I hope you love it. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell. Thank you so much. Bye.